Hi, Libra rising sign. Welcome back to my channel. And here is your weekly forecast starting on the 27th of May until the 31st of May. Even though we are only covering 4 days, but it's quite a busy period. I think with Sun and Mercury lighting up your ninth house, your mind is very hungry and thinking about expansion, higher knowledge, broadcasting, broadcasting your truth as well to a larger audience. So, to step onto that bigger stage, I think you are facing a bit of a test of your boundaries. As a Libra rising sign, you are a natural diplomat, masterfully balancing relationships, business contracts, collaborative spaces. But maybe lately you have likely felt a deep structural tension between your long-term career goals and your actual one-on-one partnerships. You have been trying to launch a new educational program, publishing your work, stepping into an independent venture, but maybe contractual delays, partner boundaries, old patterns of over compromising have been acting like a bottleneck. This week, this bottleneck should be breaking. I think we have a story unfolding. Day by day, you are going to get forced a little bit to establish hard boundaries in your professional status, radically change how you cultivate your life philosophy, confront years-long relationship wounds, and look a brilliant creative strategy into uh, place. But why are we saying that? So we are starting with Venus in your 10th house, but having a square to Saturn in the 7th house. And that is a bit of a friction that directly tests your public visibility and your closest contracts. Venus is actually your chart ruler. It is riding high at the peak of your chart, your 10th house, the house of career, public standing, professional reputation. Venus here wants harmony at work, supportive client relationships, comfortable public presence. It wants to actually increase or grow the professional arena as well. But having that square to Saturn, which is sitting right in your 7th house, maybe you feel like that the clients do not get you, or business associates are slowing you down, or even there could be some legal matters happening at work that are a little bit more frustrating. This is a classic clash between your career ambitions and the hard realities or boundaries of key relationships. So you might be ready to move forward, maybe with a career launch, a presentation, a promotion, but a business partner, a major client, or a legal contract suddenly pulls or puts a emergency brake on it, or potentially maybe you have got some competitions coming up at work as well, and you feel a little bit overshadowed. You might face a cold boundary, a sudden delay in an agreement, or a demanding expectation from someone you work with closely. Saturn in your 7th house acts as a strict auditor of your alliances, of your partnership. It forces you to look at reality. So this transit is asking you, are you relying too heavily on people pleasing or keeping the peace in partnerships, but at the expense of your own professional growth and status? So this might bring you some contract delays or a temporary distance in your relationship today. We don't need to force the connection. Venus in Cancer would like to cuddle up while the partner is giving us a bit of a no there. This is about respecting the boundaries, auditing the fine print, understand that a truly sustainable partnership requires a realistic rules, not just necessarily good vibes. This could even talk to you about, because Venus rules your eighth house as well, that the partner is going through a financial restructuring. Venus is disposing, of course, Mars in your eighth house, which is the planet of struggle. And therefore, you might need to be stepping up your game a little bit. Now, on the 29th, Ceres is moving into Gemini. And it's going to be spending there the next 2.5 months. And it feels like that the cosmos hands you a tool to expand your personal worldview. It is all about nurturing your audience, growing your visibility. Of course, series has been very much focused on shared finances, growing those like money on a tree pretty much. But now, series moving into the ninth house, into the house of higher education, publishing, broadcasting, life philosophy, the meaning to life. Maybe you have been doing a lot of psychological processing, investment, back-end financial systems. But the way you feed your sense of security should be more about through intellectual exploration, diverse educational offers, teaching become your primary source of income potentially. So, what can I share with people? What educational content can I share with people that might generate money to me? This could be one of the topics here, but of course, not all of us are teachers. Not all of us are, let's say, spiritual, right? So, from a more realistic perspective, it is still meaning that I need to be able to launch something, whatever your career field is, in the next 2.5 months. Maybe you are going to be seeing a more powerful drive to focus on the bigger picture. If you are still doing something boring, repetitive, like administrative routines, I think it's going to start draining you. It is telling you to feed your brain a little bit. Maybe you want to go back to school and then, it's about nurturing your knowledge as well, which later on I might be able to utilize in my own career as well. This is a period of time when you really can dive into a new area of study and map out an advanced training, for example. Or if you're a teacher, then you put together an advanced training curriculum for your students, outlining a book. Or even this might be talking to you about that I want to go away a little bit, like travel, and then see whether I'm going to be able to kind of grow there. Talking about studies, because the ninth house is the house of relocation. I'm about to be launching in a week time a relocation masterclass. It's going to be 16 week, well put together, a lot of information, but one promise I can make, this is gonna be able to help you figure out the best place possible for a happier life. So you might want to check it out on my website, AstroViktor.com. And you need prior knowledge, though. You need to understand the signs, houses, planets, and aspects pretty well. I think if you are, for example, an astrologer, Sirius in the ninth house might telling you that your business is sustained right now through the distribution of practical knowledge. So it's about giving your audience high quality, actionable mental food that elevates their own perspective as well. Yes, there is a bit of a warning here also, we can get scattered with our philosophy. So don't try to learn 10 different subjects at once. Focus on something high quality that directly builds your authority as well as your expertise in your own field. Now, on the very same day, Chiron reaches 29 degree of Aries. And there, Chiron is in the finish line. Chiron, the wounded healer, reaches that absolute final critical 29 degree, which we tend to be dreading in the seventh house, the house of committed partnership, clients, and legal contracts. Now, Chiron has been here since 2018 and exposing every single wound you carry around relationships, like fear of rejections, losing your identity in someone else, or survival patterns where you felt you had to overcompensate your own needs just to keep a partner happy or keep a partner around. But this is going to be a pressure there. It's kind of like your relationship final exam, really. I think in the next few weeks, you are likely to face situations that perfectly echoes an old relationship trauma or a client conflict or legal matters. Someone pops into your life who triggers that familiar fear of confrontation and abandonment. The difference is, though, that in the past you might have folded your cards or overcompensated by trying to fix the other person. But I think Chiron here says that the medicine is just I'm gonna walk out of it. I'm gonna be calm about it. I'm gonna be aware that I've got the right to exist within this partnership also. This is about looking at this dynamic and realizing that I no longer need to compromise my core identity to be loved, to be respected. Whether it's business or love life doesn't necessarily matter. And then if we do so, it could lead to a massive breakthrough. And maybe you are closing the door on codependency. You stop asking an alliance to validate your worth, and you step into that more like true independent version of yourself. On the very same day, Hera will be entering the sign of Virgo, which is your 12th house. Hera is the asteroid of commitment and stepping into this very analytical sign, Virgo. So this might be talking to you about certain type of private agreements, hidden systems, spiritual practices. All of those are getting a clean upgrade. Maybe you are no longer interested in loose ends behind closed doors. So therefore, this is a perfect time to optimize your back-end business operations, clear out administrative clutter in private, commit to a daily healthier kind of routines that protect your peace as well. And then on the 30th, we have got Circe entering Leo, and that's your 11th house. And this is about captivation. I mean, Circe is about magnetism and persuasion. So, again, if you're a social media content creator of some sort, or you have got something to launch, then this is when you are able to captivate your audience. This is when you are able to kind of convince them in a way why they should be buying certain type of products of yours. So you can really launch a community of posting contents, taking the center stage, and being a bit more bold as well. This is about not hiding your brilliance. It's not about diluting your message. It's about remaining warm and enthusiastic. And you can spread that, and it becomes kind of contagious, and therefore you can draw more people to you. Then on the 31st, Mercury is still out of bound, making a sextile to Chiron. It looks like that there are certain type of discussions that you are about to be having with your partner, or maybe you are ready to share with the world what type of pain you went through when it comes to relationships and how people might be hurting you. The ninth house is still about higher knowledge and broadcasting as well. Because Mercury is out of bound, it is operating totally outside the box. It is disregarding any type of rules, really. But maybe you have been feeling stuck about how to resolve, let's say, a contract issue or how to market your knowledge to the public. But you can get these flash of genius. It just hit you, and then you are not doubting yourself much anymore. And that unconventional insight is kind of like potentially meeting your clients or meeting a partner of yours. Maybe you are ready to talk about those relationship wounds that you might have experienced. And that is somehow the key. Speaking is the key to be able to kind of dissolve that Chironian wound that you have been going through since 2018. Simultaneously, the sun is in your ninth house as well, making a sextile to Pallas and the trine to Juno. So Pallas Athene is about pattern recognition. So you start seeing the pattern in your relationships. You gain knowledge about it. You start seeing the pattern about your romantic life as well with Juno in the fifth house. Or maybe you start seeing your teaching offerings or the project that you are launching that maybe I haven't been targeting the right clients or I have to be making modifications to it. Maybe you are ready to collaborate and so forth. But again, this mini Grand Trine is a green light for me to launch a unique program of yours. And then Mercury on the same day enters Cancer, which is your 10th house. Now, Mercury is still out of bound. Mercury has been very buzzy in the 9th house. It's going to calm down a little bit in the sign of Cancer, just a little bit though. But you're going to start thinking about, okay, I've done a lot of studies. I've got a lot of ideas. How can I start making money out of it? It's about processing that. It's about integrating that into your profession. Or I'm ready to speak about that with a boss, or I'm ready to, all those ideas that I had, I'm ready to kind of create a foundation for it. So this week you have done a lot of internal and external heavy lifting. I think you checked the partnership boundaries. You are reclaiming your independent voice. You're building a blueprint for your creative growth. And then now that Mercury wants you to step on a stage and start leading. I will be making a separate video about Mercury, of course, because it's going to be spending 2.5 months in the sign of Cancer due to its retrogression. So we're going to have to give a better attention to that. Good luck, Libra, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Share your breakthroughs and insights in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. Bye-bye.